I'm a fighter, always have been. In the ring and in business. 30 years of battles, rising, falling, rebuilding. I've made money, I've lost money, but it wasn't until I created Zapata Systems was I able to really climb my way out. But the toughest fight, it wasn't physical. It was watching money walk out the door week after week, whether to vendors charging too much or labor not justifying the revenue. That money stress, it doesn't always stay at work. It follows you home, turns into arguments, cold dinners, and broken peace. And then there's the IRS, back taxes, deadlines, pressure you can't punch your way out of. Zapata Systems shows you what you're really paying. It gives you control, leverage, and savings. This isn't about surviving. It's about winning. You're in a fight. Start acting like it. Zapata Systems. Fight smarter.
What's up, guys? It's Wednesday, movie talk time. I'm Joe Zapata. We got a great show for you today. We got Fantastic Four. We're going to talk about Peacemaker, some Happy Gilmore. But first, let's introduce the team. Dave, DC, Callari. What's going on, Dave?
What's up, boys? It's a good one tonight.
Good. And then we got the screenwriter, Rob Alvarenga. What's up, Rob?
What's going on? I'm feeling fantastic.
Yeah. You got to see Fantastic Four, right? So we're going to talk about that and get some stuff out the way. But first, I do want to talk about what we actually had last week. We had Ozzy Osbourne passed away, Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away, and this week we had another one actually passed away. The immortal Hulk Hogan actually passed away on the 24th. And I just want to say something about this kind of quick. Real quick, hold on. I'll just mute you right there. I just do want to say something kind of quick about Hulk Hogan. I do a podcast with a professional wrestler soon. It's going to be coming out. I know personal wrestlers personally. I talk to him, I interview him. I've been a fan since '79, so I know a lot of wrestlers. I've talked to Mr. T personally about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan has done some things he said in the past. Can't defend him for it, but he found Christ. He was a better person. Let him rest in peace. You know, he has kids, everything. I just want him to rest in peace. You know, Hulk Hogan, without him, there wouldn't be wrestling today. And that's what my thoughts on it. Dave, I don't know if you have anything to say about Hulk Hogan.
No, I agree. I didn't even know. I mean, I've not really followed his career closely, but I remember growing up and Hulkamania was a thing, Rocky III, and then the show with his daughter. And then, like I had just said to you before the show, I saw his interview he did where they showed his baptism and he came to Christ because like I can't do my life anymore, so I surrender. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And I kind of think maybe that a lot of people don't know about that. And
no, they don't.
I understand if they have issue with some of the things he said in the past, but it's that cliche of like, you know, don't throw stones in the glass house or whatever. It's like, at any point of any of these people who are so up in arms over him, never said an unkind word about someone they didn't like for no good reason. Like, it just always starts with looking in the mirror. And when these cultural icons leave and the legacy of their work is really what we should, you know, celebrate, because it'll be here for a long, long time, way after we're gone. And, you know, whatever he did for kids coming up, whatever he did for the industry, like, it's all important. And I understand that he was voicing his opinion and whoever caught it on tape. But again, if we're going to condemn people for one misstep, like, we'd all be in jail. Like, what? Nobody's made a mistake, you know, big or small. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I always say when you're pointing a finger at someone, there's always three pointing back.
Right.
You know, so always, no one's perfect except the man upstairs. He's the only one. Rob, I don't know, you got to hear about Hulk Hogan passing. Did you know? Pretty sad, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, my thing with Hulk Hogan is, you know, first of all, you know, a human being passed away, and a legend at that. You know, so, you know, thoughts and prayers, to, you know, to his family, to his loved ones. Hulk Hogan is like, it's mixed emotions with me because, I mean, growing up, you know, he was pretty much a real life superhero. That's about as close as we got to any superheroes that I've ever read in comic books. That sort of thing. This guy, he saved wrestling twice.
Mhm.
He's the reason why I even was like, like any other kid growing up around that time, that era. It was Hulk Hogan and everybody else. But we got to, he introduced us to all these other characters that, to be honest, if it wasn't for him, nobody's gonna, carry that sport and then transcend it at that. So, I was Hulkamaniac, and I celebrated everything that he did. At his best was when he was always like picking up kids on the shoulders and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
just working the crowd, just the sheer joy of it. And that's so he's part of my childhood.
Yep.
As we grow up, it's one of those things where just like it's like be careful, when you meet your heroes,
Hmm.
because then you realize that they're very human, just like you and I. And you know, I, honestly, Hulk Hogan has broken my heart a couple times.
I'm sure.
Because I believe to this day I still believe in what I grew up with. That's the guy that I wanted to root for, to cheer for, whatever have you. So when you fast forward to like the events, things like his commentaries, his viewpoints, his thing and things like that. You know, it's like you got to today's point. You got to separate. A legend to me doesn't always have to be completely heroic, because
Hmm.
part of being a legend is being a very much a human being, and we're all flawed.
Yep.
So so rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. Celebrate his accomplishments. That's what I'm gonna stick with, and just keep it moving.
Yep. I got to meet Hulk Hogan twice. He was always great to me. I was actually going to try and get him on the podcast, but the money just wasn't there for me to do that. I mean, I would lose money. But he told me, he said, "Hey, if you want me to come on, you come up, we'll do it." Okay. He was always great to me. Now, I was talking to Dave before the show. I personally talked to a lot of pro wrestlers. They're good friends of mine. I talk to them all the time, text. I spoke to Mr. T, and Mr. T told me, he said, "Joe, if Hulk Hogan was a racist or whatever he was," he goes, "when I battled my cancer, he was the first one to give me money for surgery. Not out of his pocket." He goes, "That's how good he was." He goes, "If he was racist, he wouldn't do that." But he says, "That's how great Hulk Hogan was." And people don't know that. He goes, "Because Hulk Hogan found Christ and he tried to be a better person than he is today." He was my hero. I still love Hulk Hogan. People sometimes don't like him because he supported Trump or whatever. But, Hulk Hogan, would let him rest in peace. He was still a legend. That's all I have to say about that. The next thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys got to see it on Friday. Happy Gilmore actually dropped on Netflix. I was in it a couple scenes. I actually have a little scene out there. You might gonna pull it up right now. That's me in the background with a little
Yeah.
bandana on. They dressed me up.
I was looking for you and I saw you. I was
I was in like
like,
three or four
"There's
scenes.
Joe."
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 scenes I was in, but
From
I
that
watched.
viewpoint, the bandana, you look like Ric Flair. It looks like a silver wig.
Yeah, they put you in there, had dressed you up and everything. It was kind of crazy, but the movie overall wasn't that good. I don't know if you guys saw it. I mean, it was what you expected a Happy Gilmore movie. The first one was 10 times better. This was just nostalgia, everything going on there. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it. Maybe Rob, did you see it? What'd you think of the movie?
I did see it. I actually saw it with my kids, and
Okay.
so overall, I mean, look, I agree. This is if they were going to do a sequel, it's one of these things where you wish the sequel came out like, I don't know,
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
When it probably would have been like, I don't know, it probably would have been better, because you still would have had like the aura of the first movie, and that would have given momentum to the sequel. But this is a sequel that's just way, way late. Not necessary, to be quite honest.
100%.
Um, so, I mean, did it have some funny moments that I generally laughed? Yeah, it
It
did.
did.
Overall, I was like, there was entertaining parts, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of old school Adam Sandler like humor to
Mhm.
it. So that was cool. Just a lot, the first, I guess the biggest thing that I had with it was that, and I don't know, we're talking spoilers here,
Go ahead,
because
man. No. Go ahead.
his wife dies.
He killed his
I
wife.
mean, he sheds a ball and he kills her, and I mean, look, I
That's
know
how
you have to find it. You have to find a way to reset Happy to be like he sucks again and get
yes.
better. I get it, but when I saw that, my mouth dropped. Like,
Yeah, I didn't think
what
they
are
were
we
going to do
doing here?
that, but they did. They killed her with a gun.
Oh my god!
Dave, did you get a
What-
chance to see it? I don't know if you got a chance to see it, Dave. Did you see
I
it?
didn't get a chance to see it. I was waiting. I saw a couple of thumbnails for the reactions on YouTube, and all the faces were like,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll get it if we were going to review it, I would have watched it.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I heard not awesome things. I thought it was terrible. Like, it's not. There's way worse out there. Just that it wasn't. Wasn't.
No. Trust me, it wasn't not
Did
worth
Sandler
it.
write it or direct it?
He co-wrote it. He co-wrote it. I was looking at the end credits to see where this was. So yeah, he produced it. He's in it. He's in it with his kids. Like all his kids are in there. Like legit kids are in there.
When you have that money, you can do anything you want. Just put
It's
anything.
true. And you know what? Good for him. You know what? That's something like we all were like, if we were had that kind of money as an actor, yeah, bring me my kids, whatever, and stuff like that. But
I would love to take a big swing at making a not great movie.
Yeah.
yeah, like legit. But the end of that movie, like, jumped the shark. After a while, you're like, all right, how's this ending?
Yeah. And I don't know, Rob, the Stop and Shop he worked at was right up here. It's right next to me.
Oh, cool.
I go shopping there all the time,
That's awesome.
And they were filming in the morning that my girl was going to work, and she's like, "What's going on here?" And they were filming that day, so it was kind of crazy.
All right.
Yeah, so that pretty cool, but not worth it. Thumbs down. I do like Happy Gilmore, but hey, whatever. Maybe if they put more scenes, more scenes with me in it.
They had to cut scenes with you.
That's the thing. You're too much on the cutting room floor.
Exactly. That's
the comedy front, though. Naked Gun is tracking amazingly well for this weekend.
Yes, it is.
I saw that.
I did see that.
That's wild. That's wild to me.
We got tickets for Friday, and people are like, "This is good."
Yeah, I heard it was really good. The next thing I want to talk about is Peacemaker dropped their trailer. I don't know if you guys get to saw it. Peacemaker dropped their trailer. I thought it was actually a really good trailer. August 21st comes on Max. Really good. I thought it was just great. You could tell why it was the two worlds, how he was in the old world and now in the new one with the, going back and forth with the closet. Dave, did you see it? What did you think of it?
Goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
I got goosebumps towards the end. This looks really good.
Yep.
James Gunn set up the first season. I thought was great. Took me by surprise.
Yep.
And I think I said this before. When I saw they're making a Peacemaker TV show, I was like, why do we care about this character? He was fairly insignificant in Suicide Squad, and that was a good movie. I thought it was.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was really great. And don't underestimate the star power of John Cena and how he can kind of just charisma the hell out of you and get you to really dig whatever he's doing. This looks really good, and obviously on the heels of Superman, the world is expanding. I think there's going to be a lot more cool stuff happening. Obviously, we saw in the first teaser, we did see Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl, so we know they're here. So, like I said, there's a lot. The full trailer that just dropped. There's obviously a ton of stuff happening. Again, Gunn is really good at managing all the storylines and characters. So I think this should be at least as good as the first, if not better.
Rob, what did you think of the trailer?
I enjoyed the hell out of it. Everything that you loved about the first season is there. The team, everybody, Vigilante, which, as long as Vigilante's on screen, I'm going to be happy with the series. It's delving into the whole, multiverse-ish type of thing, exploring like these pocket dimensions that were sort of introduced in Superman. But at the core of it, you really saw what the series is going to be about. It's about Chris finding himself feeling like he doesn't belong in his world and finding the world that is so much cooler that he just wants to be part of. And then you got the two versions of him going at it. It's exciting, and I think there's going to be a lot of stuff. Rick Flag Sr. looks like he's coming in to kick ass, and I'm here for it. So. Yeah, this show looks like it's gonna it's gonna be a hit. Everybody loved the first season. I can't see why this season doesn't do just as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really well. I can't wait for August 21st on the Max. It comes out. So we'll look out for that. The next thing I was going to talk about is obviously Fantastic Four, whatever. That came out. I didn't see it. You guys both saw it, but let's talk about it. Now the box office for Fantastic Four, I think, was 118. Superman was 125, I think, around there. So Superman did do better opening weekend. But I heard it was a great movie. So Dave, you first. What did you think about the movie? If you want to talk spoilers, you can. I don't care. You know, I'm going to see
spoilers because I'm not whatever. It's been out for a couple days.
It's been out. I know everything that's going on.
I thought it was really good. It was a self-contained story, which is kind of nice. And much like Superman, you kind of hit the ground running.
Yep.
They do it in an interesting way. They pretty much just give you a sizzle reel of all their exploits since becoming the Fantastic Four on a talk show.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see what they're doing. It's very clear they're the only game in town. This takes place on Earth 828. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, how do we get to 616? So if I remember correctly, 616 is like the main line.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
The Marvel stuff is taking place in. Everything looked great. This really cool retro Jetsons look. All the performances were great. They really delved into the family dynamic and how everybody supports and loves one another. Like the very first one, I feel like there was a lot of infighting, like trying to be like, oh, siblings fight, but it just came off not really genuine. And this was much, much better. All the performances were great. I think the Thing looked fantastic. All the effects looked great. Galactus, finally we got a great Galactus. I think he looked amazing. And is the movie perfect? No, not at all. But it was definitely, I won't say step in the right direction because I don't think Marvel totally knows what direction it's going in. Mm-hmm. But this is a solid entry into where we're going next. And this was actually one of the first movies in a long time that makes me excited for whatever is coming next.
Better than the Thunderbolts?
See, I don't know. Maybe just a hair under for me. Something about Thunderbolts I really, really liked because it was just a bunch of underdogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I like them.
It wasn't trying. I don't think it was really trying to do anything. I thought it was just good. Mm-hmm. Fantastic Four, while it's good and it's not overreaching at all. It does have a little bit riding on it. I don't care what anybody has to say.
Yeah, exactly. Rob, what did you think about when you saw it?
I loved it. I actually got to see it today, and so it's all fresh right now for me. The everything that Dave said is right on track. The performances are awesome. The members of the Fantastic Four all have like relevance to them. There's depth to them. The major difference between this one and the early 2000 version of the Fantastic Four is that people, I think they forgot that, all these guys are, astronauts, scientists, smart people in their own right, including Johnny Storm. Mm-hmm. And they definitely made sure you realize that every single one of these guys, what makes them really super is what they mean to each other. And that they're all of them, they have their equals in a way. They're true partners every sense of the word. But one falls flat on one end, the other one's ready to pick up. The dynamic between Reed and Sue it's powerful. It's powerful that the marriage dynamic, the new parent dynamic, which I identified with like right off the bat. My girls are not that old, so I bringing them, seeing Franklin being born, seeing like him being like this new member, and then everybody's just adjusting to this. So that stuff is awesome. But a couple points really quick. I mean, this was a real big tribute to Jack Kirby. We finally got the Galactus that Jack Kirby and Stanley really created. How much of a force he really is, a universal force. And just his lore, that this guy predates the universe, predates time. He's beyond imagination, and then that's what scares Reed Richards. So having the retro future 60s version of this world, and on top of that, it was a nice touch because 828, when you broke it down to the end credits, it was actually, I believe, Jack Kirby's birthday. Wow. So they kind of paid tribute to that. But overall, I thought this movie was awesome. And yeah, it sets up a lot. it did its job. In my opinion, it did its job to get us to Avengers Doomsday.
Okay, I was going to ask you both. Out of all the Fantastic Four movies we've had in the past, this one is obviously the best.
Yeah, the other ones don't even count at this point.
Okay, just want to see. And
the only thing I'll say is I feel the original Silver Surfer somehow looked a little bit better than this one.
Okay.
The CGI I think was tighter back then.
Yeah, that's
for some reason. I don't know how.
That's just a strange nitpick because she's a great actress,
mm-hmm.
and it was weird to hear her without her southern accent from Ozark.
But
she's good. She's really good. Like the performance was good, the character was good, the things that the way it happened I thought was good. They could have given her more to do because you kind of forget she's there and she kind of saves the day at the end a little bit.
Yeah,
but not really wasted.
Okay, cool. Now I didn't know that the Galactus was a real suit that someone wore. He wore.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the actor wore it, makeup and everything.
Yeah, he wore the popcorn bucket.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's actual props.
The San Diego Comic-Con actually, was passed actually, and there was a guy who was dressed up like Galactus. Now, that's an impressive costume, but Jesus Christ, he must be hot. And and people must have been walking around with him, must have been crazy. But also at the Comic-Con, the popcorn buckets are the hottest selling item at the Comic-Con. Dave, do you get any of those popcorn buckets? You were
when I went to the theater, I was looking around. I'm like, who's got a bucket? Anybody?
Yeah.
I couldn't see one. Because legit, if I had seen one, I would have thought about it for a second because it was like $80.
Yeah, it's really pricey, but these things are gonna be collector's items. I mean, you got a 2-foot bucket from Galactus' head. I mean, how can it not be a collector's item? So yeah, I could see how this turns to a thing.
Yeah, someone actually just paid. I saw online. Someone paid like $200 for a Back to the Future one. The car, and then I saw someone paid the Batmobile or something. I
always pass on them in my AMC app. They're like, if you buy the tickets early, you get you can reserve them or maybe get a small discount. I never get them. I passed on the Ecto one. There was a Ghost Trap. There was Back to the Future stuff. I'm like, I think about it, and I'm like, where am I gonna put it?
Yeah, exactly. And they're really popular. They're collector's items, like you said. They're all over the place. But people love them. Who knows? But now we got some mailbag questions coming in. I got a bunch of mailbag questions coming in. So let's start with the mailbag here. And it says, Chris from PA said, did you guys see the trailer for Avatar? Yes, I did. I thought it was really good. Dave, did you see it?
Yeah, it was weird because all the trailers played, the commercial played, and then the Nicole Kidman thing played, and all of a sudden, another trailer. Like, what is this? And I'm like, oh my god, it's Avatar.
Yep.
So visually looks great as usual. I know it's going to do well. I don't dislike it. I'm just not that interested in it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The first movie was fantastic. The second one was fine. It doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
Technologically, it's great, but I don't know. Like, will I see it?
Yeah, I'm the same way. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I want to be excited about this, but I mean, honestly, it just seems like the magic that was like, in the first movie, it's like we've seen the trick. You've seen it once, and now you get to see the same thing kind of over and over again. It's like, again, it's visually stunning. The storyline, I'm sure, is going to be something that's going to be awesome. But, I'm with Dave. I'm just like, I just don't want to shell out that kind of money for and then you got the humans again in here and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it either.
I think having Sigourney Weaver and Stephen Lang really anchoring the humans in the first movie is one of the things that's just missing. Like those two characters when they're in human form, they give you that dichotomy. It's more relatable when you actually have people. Now we're just with I forget what these guys are called. It's
the Navi or something.
Navi, yeah. It just looks like Smurfs on steroids. I'm sure I just made a lot of people mad, and that's fine. Like, it's going to do good. It's going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron doesn't really do a bad movie. I just don't care.
Yep.
Right. And I gotta say one thing. That's Stephen Lang, right? That's the actor, right? Um, I mean, shouldn't really be low key, but that guy, I mean, he was terrifying in the first movie.
Yeah.
He scared you.
Yep.
And it was just something about him that always like drew you into the action. So it wasn't so much that, I mean, yes, he held down like the humans, especially the bad guys there, but he was like the baddie that you're like, even at the end, you're like, how can you kill this guy? This guy is a machine.
Yeah. He played a great character in that one movie where he was a blind guy. Remember? And
Oh,
I forget what it was.
Like, yeah, don't speak. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. He played great character. Next question. Ryan F from PA said, heard the rumors that Batman has been cast in DCU. Brandon Skyliner have you heard? Yes, I did hear something about that. They showed pictures of him and he was training. He was great and cut up. And then he said he got a cast for a big role on Instagram. And he's been posting Batman emojis. So I don't know, but I did hear that. I don't know anything else the guy's really been in. Have you guys heard anything?
I heard the same thing. I heard the name. I don't know who he is. I didn't see any pictures, but the people I heard talking about on a podcast, like, oh my God, he looks like Batman, which is interesting because what does Batman really look like? You know what I mean? Like, if you go to the animated series, just a big square head.
Yeah.
You know, and then we've had so many Batmans over the years, and I kind of want to see an Alan Ritchson Batman, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I would really like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be the fan favorite.
Probably not. If this is where we're going, totally fine. Because at this point, like, I don't even think the Batman 2 is a real movie, to be honest with you anyway. So it's fine.
All right. So now this one, I always get something like this coming in every week. Tim L, Jersey City, New Jersey, DC.
Yes, sir.
I actually think Ghostbusters 2 is underrated. As a child, I loved it, and the Bobby Brown song was great. Okay. Ghostbusters 2 underrated, you think?
So is it underrated? I don't know if it's underrated. It's probably just evenly rated.
Okay.
But it was the first one I saw in the theaters. Like, that was a big year, right? Batman, Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, and Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, big year.
So that was the first Ghostbusters I saw in the theater. So that will always be a thing. It was cool just to see them back.
Mm-hmm.
For me, though, it was like they kind of catered towards the cartoon a little bit, like with Slimer, but not in the ways you would have wanted. Like, it was too kiddie instead of. There were some really great storylines, some scary storylines in the cartoon that they could have dove into a bit. And like the Janosch character was just kind of, you know, why are you came? You know, like, it's kind of funny now, but it doesn't really do anything when you think about it. I will make some people mad when I say I think that Girl Ghostbusters was funnier than Ghostbusters 2.
Wow. I'll get some emails from that.
But like, really, if you go back and watch it, like, do a rewatch back to back.
Chris Hemsworth was funny.
Chris Hemsworth does most of the heavy lifting.
Yes.
And Kristen Stewart, I think, she's always funny in her own way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really think it's overrated. But dude, Tim, like, you could love it. Like, it's still in there. It still can.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I'll back you up here, Dave, because I mean, I remember that year, and I saw this thing opening night, and I walked away thinking like, it was all there, and then it's just like it was clear that they just wanted to keep it safe, throw in a little bit of like what the first one had, but didn't really do anything, didn't really push anything. And I just remember talking to friends of mine out in the theater, like, we wanted more out of that, and they just didn't, you know. And you're probably right, which is I would have to do that. Watch those two movies back to back. I'm afraid you might be right.
Yeah, I think Ghostbusters 2, I don't remember how it did in the box office, but between Batman and Indiana Jones, it was a tough. I think that's why.
Yeah, that's a tough summer. That's a tough summer.
That was a loaded summer.
Yeah, that was great. All right, next question. Drew from PA says, I saw at Comic-Con they revealed Amazon Prime is completed with script God of War live action series. Any thoughts who could play Kratos? That's a good question. Kratos. I don't know. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I don't know. Maybe Triple H. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to think who could play Kratos.
You get that guy, Martin something. You guys,
Oh,
Joe,
I know
you
who
probably
he is.
know.
I know who he is. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I know exactly who he is. Yes, he would be.
He's,
Perfect.
he played. I want to say he played Goliath in the Book of David on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Was he in Gladiator? Maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Okay. I
I'm
don't know.
gonna throw one out there from left field.
Go ahead.
David Harbour.
Well, that'd be tough because he's got. Well,
Get him super shredded. He has done it before.
Boy shape again.
No, he could do it.
He could do it. He could do it. You know, he's got the chops. You know, we'll see. Next question, John S. from Newark.
Martin Ford.
Marty Ford. Yes, yes, that's who it was. John, Newark, New Jersey. Yo, fellas, did you enjoy Superman or Fantastic Four better?
I think I liked Superman better.
Superman better.
There's for me there was less riding on it. Like I just went in, I knew it was going to be good, but I wasn't like, oh, good, the whole universe is hinging on this one movie. Like I got a chance to enjoy it for what it was, and you can sort of do that with the Fantastic Four because again, it is self-contained. Like there's no callbacks to other characters except for the spoiler mid-credit scene where we get Dr. Doom is sitting in front of Franklin. But it's still, it's setting something up. So it still there's like a pressure there. Like, oh, is this going to be any good? Does this want to make me see the next thing? Where Superman were like, yeah, let's just do it.
What about you, Rob?
Oh man, this is honest. I really enjoyed both of them very, very much. I'm gonna end up leaning on Fantastic Four.
Wow, okay.
But the only reason why, there's two reasons why. While I enjoy James Gunn's version of Superman, James Gunn has a certain style when he writes his movies. There's a lot of humor in there. There's a lot of it's a lot of fun, but it's just like some things are just like he has a thing which is like, he doesn't let certain things like, maybe set a little bit. Okay. So I don't mind it, but the stark contrast between Superman and Fantastic Four, this movie, the whole movie, my eyes are just wide open because the storyline, the performances, it's just like, it just felt a little deeper. I really enjoyed that. There's like moments where there's no dialogue happening, but there's a lot happening on the screen.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, to me, that's closer to true cinema. It's always that show don't tell. If you could tell me everything that's happening between people and not say a word, that's powerful. And there's a lot of those moments in Fantastic Four. And plus, just the whole Jack Kirby style, influence, I should say, that they did with this movie. I'm a big fan. That's old school Marvel. I love it.
Okay, that's cool. All right, guys. All right, now we're going to wrap up with our favorite last section, but it's a little bit different. I always like to keep you guys on your toes. This one is going to be name that famous baby.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Franklin,
I'm going to start with you, Rob. If you don't get this right, all right, got to get this one. Here we go.
Okay. Whew. So this is Will Smith, yes?
Correct. It is Will Smith. Smith.
Looked like a simp back then too.
Yeah. All right, Dave, you're up. Who is this one?
That's got to be Dwayne Johnson.
You got it, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yes. Now I'm going to get a little bit harder. All right. Here we go. This one's going to be for you, Rob. Here you go.
All right.
Oh.
My God. What that? Okay.
I'm going to give you a clue.
All right. Give me a clue.
Famous director.
Famous director. Oh my God. Famous director. This is not, no, that's in color, so it can't be Ron Howard. Sheesh. Oh my God. Of course. All right, I got to know who this is.
Dave, you got any idea?
I want to say Sean Levy, but I'm probably wrong.
No, Taika Waititi.
Okay.
That's Taika Waititi?
That's Taika Waititi. Yes, it is.
He doesn't look stupid enough.
Mhm. All right. This one. All right, you ready, Dave? Let's see if you can get this one.
Yeah. Oh, Steve Carell.
Boom! Wow, that was impressive.
This the nose and teeth. Come on.
All right, Rob. I'm going to leave you with this last one. Ready? See if you can see
Okay,
this
great.
one. Here we go. You can get this. You got this.
I think I know.
This is an actor?
Actor, yes, famous actor.
Is this Josh Brolin? Oh, come on. He's got the scowl.
No. Come on.
I was gonna say the same thing.
No, it's not.
Huh.
Let me see. I'm going to give you a clue. He's a newly added Marvel in Marvel.
Is that Pedro Pascal?
No.
Is it Ethan Hawke?
No.
Damn.
Let's see. I'm going to say
That's not Ryan Reynolds, is it?
No way.
Ryan Reynolds. There you go.
I get the points, but I don't like it.
What?
I get the points, but I don't like it.
Good job. See, I like to keep you guys on your feet.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel great.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys, and we will talk next week, fellas. Have a good night, my friends. Thank you. Enjoy, man.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.